Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Sowinski. I am the host of the PlayStation Generation podcast over at the Canadian video game site Console Creatures. I also write over on butwhythough.net, and I'm here to talk to you about a game called SCHiM. Now, Matt, DJ Stormageddon, is a good friend of mine and asked me to do this months ago. And it's taking me a really long time to sit down and actually record this for a few reasons. I've had a rough little while, and just being honest and upfront here. Lost my job, had a bunch of health complications. It's just been one thing after the other, along with the 10th year anniversary of a really bad accident that I was in a while ago. So it's been a lot on top of new family. We had our baby girl about a year and a half ago. So it's been a lot, and at the back of my mind, sitting down to record this felt like a gargantuan task. I felt pretty driftless, pretty lost. So I just wanted to, start by saying, I'm sorry this took me so long, Matt, but I'm here to talk about SCHiM, a game that I thought about a lot over the last little while because it's a game that I played back in 2024 when it came out. I actually reviewed it, and it really resonated with me. I really fell in love with what this little game did. It's about a person who gets separated from the soul that essentially lives in their shadow. And the entirety of the game is about catching back up to your person. You play the little, lossless soul as you hop from piece to piece, from shadow to shadow, as you try and make your way back to your person. And what I really loved about this is it starts off quite beautifully, where you basically grow up with this person. You watch them as a kid, you see them as they grow up, you see them go through their first relationship, through their first heartbreak, through their first job, and through their first job loss. So it's been on my mind a lot in the last little while. And in that kind of lowest moment is when you get separated. And as you try and catch up to them, you see exactly what this person's going through. You see them, try to get back on their feet, and they struggle. And then, ultimately there is, a happy ending to this. But that struggle has stayed with me. The platforming is fantastic, and it's cute. And there's some really, really creative level design as you're playing with shadows, the daytime, depending on the direction of the sun. There's a lot of hopping that you can do, especially when, across moving targets and, across people who are cars that are whipping by. But at nighttime, the shadows are everywhere. And it's just as important to be able to stay in the bits of light because you need the shadows to still make it across certain sections. So there's a lot of really cool ideas there. But I think it's a story that really stayed with me. It really connected with me just because I feel like this is a game that a lot of people in my generation and surrounding can kind of resonate with. The world is at least lately, maybe it's because, we're more aware than we ever are before. But the world kind of sucks at times. Things are hard for a lot of people in a lot of different places in a lot of different ways. And my mind kept coming back to this little creature, this little bit of soul that gets separated from their person, and this kind of journey about really never giving up and trying to get back to, who you are or who you could be or who you were or who you want to be. And SCHiM tells that story, and it tells it quite beautifully. And I mean, like, the graphics on top of it are just stunningly gorgeous. Every frame looks like a watercolor painting. They use these really, every level is basically its own color palette, but they all blend together in these really kind of I'm not good with explaining colors, but these kind of monotone-esque almost in a way, where one map is entirely orange outside of the shadows that kind of litter across, while the next map will be blue, or the next map will be green, and it's beautiful. It is gorgeous. It's one of my favorite looking games that I've ever had the experience of playing. And it's a really special game that I feel like a lot of people slept on as it came out and in the kind of following time since. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it. It's not only a game that I feel is cute and important and well done and really great, but it's also one that I resonate with a lot because I feel like that person right now that's maybe been separated from the creature in their shadow as I'm trying to kind of figure out what my next steps look like, what I have to do to start feeling better again, and how I can be a good partner and a good father in a way that, makes me feel fulfilled and makes me feel purposeful. So that's why I wanted to talk about SCHiM, and that's why this took me so long, Matt, and I'm sorry again. But I felt like I wanted to finally get this out, almost like a point of, moving forward, if that makes sense. So apologies for spending, the better part of 6 minutes here talking so much about myself as I talk about SCHiM, but it's something I felt like I needed to do. So if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope anybody else who might be going through anything or might be struggling or might be looking for something checks SCHiM out, because I feel like there's something special here and there's something unique. And shout out to the developers. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your Dutch names, but Ewoud, Werf, and Nils, Slijkerman. You've made something that's really hit me profoundly and something that has been stayed with me for quite a while now. I think it's worth checking out, and I think it's a lovely little game about somebody trying to get back to their a creature trying to get back to their person. And yeah, just go check it out. It's available on all of the things, so go give it a whirl. If you want to see or hear more of me, you can check me out on PlayStation Generation over at Console Creatures. That's on YouTube or on the site itself. And more of my writing and words over at butwhythough.net. Everybody, I hope everybody stays well. Take care of one another. Take care of yourselves. And as always, happy gaming.
Do you feel like you're the only person in your circle who wants to go deep about video games regularly?
We were like that too, until now.
Welcome to Crossplay Conversations, the brand new bi-weekly topical video game podcast from Luke Lewis,
Joseph Hooper,
and Jacob McCord.
With many years of breaking it down separately on shows like the Left Behind Game Club, Player Podcast, and Lukewarm Games, the gang is finally coming together to publish their gaming group chat in audio form every other week.
Expect roundtable reviews of the latest games, profiles of upcoming indies, and insightful conversations about essential topics in the video game industry. All with a mostly positive, insightful, and fun style.
Crossplay Conversations debuts on August 1st with brand new episodes hitting every other Tuesday. Help us out by subscribing on your podcast platform of choice to get the first episodes delivered straight to your feed.
And follow us on Twitter at Crossplay Convos for updates about the show.
Cheers and happy gaming.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.